Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to Wednesdays with Larijuana. Right here on CannaWannaBuy.com, every Wednesday we bring you the latest in recreational and medical marijuana news from all over the globe. This week it's from the HuffingtonPost.com, and it says, in the future, people will bring pot to dinner parties instead of wine. And this is written by Matt Ferner. Matt goes on to say, if the support for marijuana legalization continues to rise, in the near future, you might bring a bag of your favorite cannabis to a dinner party rather than a bottle of wine. That's according to a new study from the online legal resource AVO, which found that 70% of more than 2,000 consumers surveyed in Colorado and Washington, where marijuana has been legalized for recreational use, they believe that marijuana consumption will become such a routine part of their lives that they'll bring it along to something as regular as dinner parties. The survey, which only included people who used avo.com in the last year, found that a strong majority of residents in Colorado and Washington are in support of legal weed businesses opening up in their neighborhoods. 67% of those surveyed in Colorado and 71% of those in Washington said that they were in favor, with 43% planning on making a marijuana purchase in the future. There was some concern from residents in both states that legalization would increase access to marijuana for kids, with 43% saying that they were very worried about this notion. 42% of those surveys were very concerned about the possibility of more people driving under the influence of marijuana. The poll echoes similar positive sentiments from the recent survey from Public Policy Polling, which showed that Colorado voters are even happier about marijuana legalization after the first few months of sales. Marijuana enthusiasts bought a lot of pot in the first month of recreational weed when it was legalized in Colorado. Several dozen recreational marijuana dispensaries collectively generated more than $14 million in January alone. Just this month, and that's March, Washington state regulators issued the first legal marijuana business license in the state. The first Washington shops selling retail weed are expected to open later this year. As the growing number of states with marijuana legalization ballot initiatives indicates, pot is gaining social acceptance across the wide swath of demographics, even with shared concerns about kids having greater access to the drug. Lee McMillan, Vice President of Marketing and Research at AVO, said in a statement, somewhat akin to the social movement after the end of Prohibition, legalized marijuana will likely follow a similar trajectory as cannabis becomes a socially accepted and new businesses emerge. Currently, 20 states and the District of Columbia have legalized marijuana in some form, with about a dozen other states expected to join their ranks in the coming years. Now, if you are traveling, don't forget you can legally go to Colorado as an adult over 21 and use cannabis. But if you are traveling across the continent, across the world, across the globe, here are 5 countries where you don't want to smoke pot. Number 1, Singapore. If you ever go to the tiny island city and state, forget about weed. Possession will cost you up to 10 years in prison, while trafficking can lead you to the death penalty. Number 2, People's Republic of China. China executes thousands of people every year. A few hundred of those executions stem from trafficking drugs like heroin, meth, and weed. The quality of bud may have improved in recent years, but China is still a third world country in terms of product. Are you really going to risk prison or worse for some mids? Number 3, the United Arab Emirates. Common trend here, the death penalty. In 2012, a British man and a Syrian man, aged 21 and 19 respectively, were sentenced to death for allegedly trying to sell and undercover around 20 grams of bud. Smoking can carry a heavy prison sentence too. South Korea. If you have THC in your system while in South Korea, you could be in deep shit. The presence of THC in urine or hair is enough to put you behind bars for at least a few months. And number 5, Syria. Syria is not exactly a place that you might want to be right now for reasons that far succeed issues of marijuana legality and punishment. Still, we'd be remiss not to include this on the list. Before war broke out, marijuana infractions of any level could carry sentences of up to life in prison. So that's our report this week from Wednesdays with Larijuana. Don't forget to check out all the new products on CannaWannaBuy.com. They're adding new products every day. Peace and love, everybody. Peace and love.